Most of the traffic on our websites now probably comes from mobile devices, yet many of us do not give the mobile experience the love that it deserves. So today I'm going to share with you a WordPress mobile menu tutorial
with Elementor Extras.
Hello, I'm your host Casino. I'm a digital alchemist, and today I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful mobile navigation on your WordPress website. Now, as mentioned in the intro, we will achieve this with Elementor Pro and Elementor Extras. Elementor Pro for the custom header and Elementor Extras for the dedicated mobile menu. So, are you ready?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to build today. If we click on the hamburger icon or nav icon, you can see beautiful navigation. We can go into subsection and subsection, and you see the nice transitions here. We can go back, and another thing that I like about Elementor Extras is that I can actually click on an anchor. So if I click on contact, it's going to go straight to that section, and as you saw, it automatically closed the navigation. So that's really useful. Now, if you don't know what an anchor is, let me show you on the desktop version. So I'm just going to refresh that page. Okay, if I click on the other pages, on the other links here, it's supposed to go to another page. But the way I configure the contact is that it's supposed to go to a specific part of this page, which is this section here. So let me show you. If I click on contact, it goes straight to that section. Now let's go back into mobile mode. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so let me do it again. If I click on contact, it will go to the anchor, but it will automatically close the navigation, which is what a user would expect. So once again, there you go. Okay, so what do you need to achieve that and to follow that tutorial? Well, first of all, you need Elementor and Elementor Pro. Now, you could get away and do it without Elementor Pro, but there are so many WordPress themes that I don't know what you're using. And I'm talking about themes and not a theme builder like Elementor, because basically, if your theme allows you to add Elementor widgets or Elementor templates within your header like the Astra theme does, then you could just use Elementor, the free version, and Elementor Extras, which is a premium add-on. But for the sake of this tutorial, and because I don't know which WordPress theme you're using, and I want as many people as possible to be able to follow, then we will use Elementor Pro. Now, Elementor Pro is great to customize every part of your website, and among which your header. But it also has amazing pop-ups features, and I've covered a lot of features of the Elementor pop-ups that you can see on my channel. So I'm not going to go over all the features of Elementor Pro, but basically I use it every day and I strongly recommend it. It starts at $49 per year up to $199 per year, depending on which plan you prefer. And I believe you get a discount when you renew after 1 year. So you also need Elementor Extras add-on, which is a premium add-on, but once again, it's really interesting. For example, you get display conditions, and you get a bunch of widgets, amazing post layouts, toggle element. These are just a few of the popular widgets. I really love Elementor Extras. Now, as I've covered in previous videos, just make sure you always update Elementor Extras before you update Elementor and Elementor Pro. And, you know, as usual, actually don't update on the live website. Always do it on a staging website first. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go to the WordPress dashboard. So the first thing we want to do is that we want to create the side menu that we've seen before we actually create the offcanvas system. So for that, go to templates, save templates, and I'm going to add a new section. So click on add new, then section, and I'm going to call it section slide menu, then click on create templates. Okay, so now we're in Elementor. You can either start with a template, but we're going to create one from scratch, so close that. Next, add a new section with one column. And actually, because this tutorial is all about the mobile, I'm just going to go straight into mobile mode. So here I go to the responsive mode icon and I'm going to click on mobile. But actually in real life, you would start with a tablet if you want also that kind of navigation for the tablet, and then you will start the mobile. But as I said, I'm going to focus on the mobile today. So make sure the section is selected, and we're going to choose full width for the content width. Okay, and next we want to add a new widget, and it's called slide menu. So I'm just typing slide, and here is the slide menu widget from Elementor Extras. So let me drag that into our section, and I've only got one menu for the moment. So by default, it shows the only menu that I created in WordPress, called the menu, very original. Next, you have the back label. So if I click on services here, you can see I have all the sub links, but I also have a label that says back here. So you can change it to whatever you want. I'm just going to keep it as back, but in uppercase. So if I click on services, you can see back is in uppercase. Now the effects, you can have overlay or push, and the direction left or right. Okay, now the next point is the link navigation. So for the, right now it's off, which means that let me go back, if I click on services, well, it's not doing anything here, but because it's a fake link, actually, it's just a pound sign that I've put, it's a custom link. But with this option off, what it would do in a real scenario is that when you click on services, it will go to the services page. Now, here they've added this really nice option to actually allow navigating to submenus by clicking the link instead of just the arrows. So if I now enable this option and I click on services, then it moves to the sub navigation. So I hope I made this clear. Basically, if I turn this off, I click on services or any other link that had sub navigation, it will go straight to the page without showing the sub navigation. But with this on, you click on any link that has sub navigation and you have access to the sub navigation, which is what I want for this tutorial, but you may want to do things differently on your website. Okay, so next we're going to style or slide menu. So let me go to the style tab. Okay, so the width, we're not going to change anything here. And then we move straight to the typography, and the typography, I'll make it 24 pixels. Okay, so let me publish that first because some of the navigation disappeared here. So let me just refresh the page. Okay, so now the page is refreshed. Let me put it back into mobile mode, and now it looks okay. So I don't know why this happens, but it's a bug. As long as you know it, just save once, refresh, and you're good to go. Okay, so let me click back on the edit button, and let's go back to our style. So one thing I want to change is the background, because out of the box it comes with its blue background. Actually, I want a blue background, but I want a different blue background. So this is the one I'm going to be using, and the one no border. Now, when it comes to the links, I want a separator that has a thickness of 1, and I'm going to change the color of the separator to a very light white color, so that is very subtle. Okay, so that looks okay. And I just want to change the color of the arrows so that they stand out. So let me change the color for the arrows to black. Okay, so let me update that. So let's have a look. Okay, so that works fine. So that was for the first step. Now let's go back to our dashboard, and the next thing we want to do is to create a header. So for that, go to templates, theme builder, and we're going to create a new header. So click on add new, select header, and we're going to call it header 1. Click on create template. Okay, so we can either choose a template or create one from scratch. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to select this one here. So click on insert. Okay, so first of all, let me select the section. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm going to remove that box shadow. But first of all, let's make the content width full width. Okay, and let's make sure that the logo is aligned on the left. Okay, so now it's a little too close to the edges, so select the section once again, go to the advanced tab, and we're going to add some padding. So first of all, let me unlink the value, and we're going to give it 30 pixels right and 30 pixels left padding. Okay, and let's go to style border, and I'm just going to reset the box shadow back to default. So now it removes this box shadow here. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is to change the info. So let's go back to the front end, and currently it says login. So this is the Astra navigation because I'm using the Astra theme, and now we're going to replace that navigation with the Elementor navigation. So I'm going to make the button similar to this one, and it should say login. Okay, size, let's keep it small. And for the style, border radius is going to be 3, or actually 2. Okay, and the background color is going to be the same blue that we're using on the rest of the website. Okay, so that's more or less what we want. So let me publish that. Add a condition, include on the entire website, save and close. Okay, so now let's go back to the front end and let's refresh the page. Okay, so here is our new navigation. Now, I could also make this header transparent, but we're not going to focus on that today. Actually, we're focusing on the mobile version. So let's go back to Elementor, and I'm going to duplicate that header. I've already shown that technique in a previous video, so if you want to know why I'm doing that, you can just go and watch this video. I'll put a link in the description below. So I'll go a bit faster here. So let me select the first section, then go to advanced, responsive, and I'm going to hide that navigation on tablet and on mobile. Okay, and for the duplicated navigation, so I just selected the section, go to advanced, and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to hide that one on desktop. Now, once again, I'm only going to focus on the mobile today, but as usual, in a real life scenario, you would first take care of the tablet version and then the mobile version, but I'm going to go straight to the mobile version. So don't pay attention to the first section here. This is for our desktop, so we're going to focus on this section here. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to remove that call to action, and then I'm going to change the proportions of the column. So the first column is going to be 70%, and the second column is going to be 30%. Okay. Next, let's style our logo. It's a bit too small, so go to the select the logo by clicking on the edit icon, then go to the style tab, and I'm going to give it 70% of the width, and that looks quite right. Next, I want to remove that Navigon because it's the default Navigon from Elementor Pro, and I don't want to use that today, so I'm just going to delete that. And next, go to widgets, and we need to add our off-canvas navigation from Elementor Extras. So let me drag that in here. Okay. So now we want to start styling it. So the position left, we're going to change it to right, it actually does not change the placement of the Navigon, but it changes what happens when you click on it. So if I click on it, see, it comes from the right. Okay, so let me select the Navigon once again. Then you can choose the animation, so either reveal, push, overlay, or shift. I'm going to select shift today, but feel free to play with the different animation options. Next, I want to keep the anchor navigation on, so that will allow me to click straight to an anchor on the page. So I click on a link that would take me to a different spot on the same page, and then automatically, because this option is selected, the close after scroll, automatically the system will know and will close the navigation. Okay, next, our trigger, we want the burger icon, but you could use any icon. And for that, just select the element ID or element class of that icon, and it will replace the burger icon. Position inline, and here's where we can align the Navigon. So I'm just going to click on the right-hand side. Okay, you could also add a label. So for example, a label that says menu. If you enable that, and then you can select where the label is after or before the Navigon. Okay, as you can see, but I'm not going to use the label here. Okay, next, our header. This is when you click on the Navigon. Here it says menu. So it's up to you if you want to keep that on. So let me click once again on the edit icon, and I'm not going to show that today. And then the content boxes. So for the moment, there's two, and this is actually manual text. If I click on the content box, this is just text that was typed in here. So I'm just going to remove one, and the last one left, I'm going to change the type from text to template. Template type section, and we're going to select the section that we created in the previous step. So section slide menu. Okay, and now if I click on it, as you can see, we can see our slide menu. It's looking ugly for the moment, but we're going to fix that. Okay, so for that, let's go to style, and first of all, for the width, we're going to select percentage, and we're going to select 85%. So it's already looking much better. Then for the background color, we're going to select the same blue we've used for the slide menu, and it's looking way better. Okay, now for the page overlay, we're going to leave it as it is, but you could change the color overlay, for example, here to green, which is pretty ugly in that configuration. So let me clear that. And by default, it's black with some transparency. Okay, and if you want to close the navigation, you can click here in the overlay. And as you can see, it goes back to to the normal state, but we can also add a close icon. So for that, let me close that. Let me click on edit for the Navigon, go to the content tab, then go to the header section, and we actually need to select a position for the close icon. So I select right, okay. And now if I click on it, you can see it goes right here. And if you want to style that, go to the style tab, header, and then you can change the color of the icon. So I'm gonna select black to make it stand out. Okay, and if I click on it, it works perfectly. Next, we have our content boxes. So for the content boxes, you can also change the spacing, the padding, but we only have one here, which is the navigation here. So we're not going to touch that. And actually, one last thing I want to change here is the actual burger icon. So for that, go to trigger and then color. And I'm going to change it to the same blue that we're using throughout our branding. Okay, so let's try. Let me click, and it's looking good. So let me update that. Okay, so now let's go back to the front end. Just going to refresh the page. So looking good on the desktop. So now let's move to the mobile version. Okay, more services, and we can go back. So that's about it. It's actually pretty easy once you know where to look for things within those widgets. So let's use it once again. Let's click on services and more services, and we can go back. So this is more of an app-like experience. Well, not exactly an app-like experience because you can't really swipe left and right the way you would do on an app, but you get the idea. See, nowadays, most of the traffic comes from mobile. I think it's from 55% upwards. Some of my customers actually have as much as 80% on the mobile. So it really depends on your industry. But one thing is for sure, you want to treat the mobile version like not like the last version after you've done everything else. You want to go mobile first. Many people talk about mobile first, but mobile first is about the page design, the layout design, yes, but also about the navigation. And even though I love Astra, I love Elementor Pro, I think that the mobile versions for the moment are pretty basic compared to that system here. Now, by the time you watch this video, maybe they've come up with an outstanding system on either on Astra or on Elementor Pro, because for many things they will start with a basic version, and as time passes they will come up with enhancements. So by the time you watch this video, it may be a different story, but for the time being this is a nice alternative. I really enjoy the possibility to have that kind of navigation, and as I've shown you, it's pretty easy to do. Now, if you're interested in purchasing Elementor Pro and Elementor Extras, you'll find links in the description of this video. Now, to be crystal clear, these are affiliate links, which means that I do get a commission if you purchase a license after clicking on my links. But one, I only recommend Elementor Pro and Elementor Extras because I love and use those products daily. And two, commissions actually help me support this channel and create free content. So I hope that this tutorial showed you how to create a beautiful WordPress mobile menu on your website. Now, if there are any other WordPress or Elementor tutorials that you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments. And by the way, you find the companion blog post on my website, casino.com. And of course, the direct link is in the description of this episode. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like it as it really helps growing this channel. And if you know someone that could benefit from it, please share it now. Now, if you're not yet a subscriber, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Now, if you want to brand, market, and grow your business in the digital age, then make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter so that you never miss a share of digital alchemy, as well as tips, tools, services, and case studies that can help you grow your business online. So that's it for this episode. I hope to see you around, and in the meantime, don't forget to invest
in your success.